Hello there, sports gamers. Welcome back into the channel. I'm Brandon Satterwhite, and today's video is going to be a little bit different from the other stuff on the channel. So if you've watched my franchise videos or franchise streams, you know that I use this MLB The Show franchise random event generator that I created to sort of add a little bit more randomness and create new storylines during my franchise playthroughs. And I've had a lot of people ask me, if I could send them the generator, if they could tell them how to do it and all this stuff. So I decided I would make this video going over it and also give you guys a link to download it and use it for yourselves, because the new game is coming out soon. You guys are going to be creating new franchise saves soon. If you want to use this generator, now is a good time to sort of get acquainted with it, figure out how you want to set it up, and be ready to use it when the new game comes out. So in the description of this video, I have provided the link to it where you can go to view this file in the online version of Microsoft Excel. Now, what you'll need to do is you will need to download this file to your desktop and have Excel on your computer in order for it to work properly. It won't work properly in the online version. So what you'll need to do once you get here to the online version is you'll need to go to File, Create a Copy, and Download a Copy. And you'll want to make sure that the file, once it's in Excel, it's saved as a .xlsm file. Now, that is a Excel file with macros enabled, which is basically just, little programs, basically. But if it doesn't save as a .xlsm, you'll need to go and make sure that you save a version of it as an Excel with macro-enabled workbook. And once you have it saved as a .xlsm, what you may need to do, and I'm not sure if you'll have to do this or not, but go to Options and go to Trust Center. Go to Trust Center Settings. Go to Macro Settings. And make sure Enable VBA Macros is selected. Now, I know it says potentially dangerous code can run. I'm going to show you exactly what is in my macro. And here's my macro, and literally all it does is it recalculates the spreadsheet. That's all it does. So there's no malicious code. There's nothing, nefarious about this. It's a button on this spreadsheet here, and all that code does is it makes it recalculate the entire spreadsheet. Now, what some of you may need to do, if Excel is showing this red bar here for security risk, what you'll need to do is, even if you have macros enabled, you'll need to go to where you saved the file, and you'll need to go to Properties, and you'll need to click this Unblock button. So Microsoft, a lot of times when it senses that there's a macro in an Excel file that you've downloaded, it's going to block it automatically, and you have to go in and manually unblock it. And then you should be able to go in and use the macros. And you'll probably, once you unblock it, you'll probably have to close the file and then reopen it again before it'll let you run the macro. But once you have that and you are in Excel on your desktop, you're here on the welcome sheet. It says, "Welcome to the MLB The Show franchise random event generator, created by Brandon Satterwhite." There's a couple of links to my socials. If you enjoy this generator, come find me over there and tell me you like it. And if you don't, come tell me I'm an idiot. I'll take the engagement either way. But first, before you actually get into it, there's a few things you need to fill out. You have to decide what your max attribute upgrade that you want is. So this is every week when you're getting attribute upgrades. What is the max attribute upgrade you want to get in a single week? I go with 10, just because I think that's a good kind of baseline. And again, it doesn't happen that often that you actually get 10. But I usually go with 10. If you want to go with like 5, that's fine too. If you want more than that, you can do it however you want. And then there are 4 different ways to play that every week the generator will tell you how to play, and you can set the probabilities of how you want each of them to be. So by default, it's 25% for each. I changed them to 30% for quick manage, simulate, and critical situations, and 10% for player luck, just because I prefer doing those other versions rather than player luck. But the main thing is you want these probabilities to all equal 1. They have to equal 1 for it to work properly. But now we can go over to the random event generator itself, and here it is in all of its glory. And so basically how this works is at the start of each week, you will hit this button and it recalculates the entire spreadsheet, and it'll tell you a minor league attribute upgrade, a major league attribute upgrade, and it will tell you how to play your games for that week. The reason I wanted to put attribute upgrades in this is in MLB The Show, there really isn't a way to control the progression of young players or prospects. I know there's the training, but it never really feels like that really does anything. And this, you can actually, see, a concerted effort to progress certain players. So if you have a young prospect you're really excited about and you kind of want to fast track him towards the major leagues, then when you're getting either these attribute upgrades or these big start of the month ones, you can pour all of those into a certain prospect to really fast track him to the big leagues. Or if you have like an older player, like say a Mike Trout or a Giancarlo Stanton that's starting to age and regress, then you can kind of pour attribute upgrades into them to sort of help them hang on a little bit longer. And so basically for the minor league attribute upgrade, it is pulling from one of these three cells here. So this is a minor league infielder, minor league outfielder, and minor league pitcher attribute upgrades. It'll pick a random position from those groups. It'll pick a random number between 1 and the maximum number that you selected. And it'll pick a random attribute from this list of hitter attributes. And the same thing with pitchers. It'll pick one from this list of pitching attributes. And so those are all kind of hidden over here, so you don't have to see them when you're actually doing stuff. Also, with some of the attributes, like contact, I just have contact listed. I don't have it listed as contact versus left or right-handed. What I usually do when I get one of these is, like, if I get contact +5, I'll just do +5 to both. If you want to just do one or the other when you get contact, that's perfectly fine. I do the same thing with pitchers with velo, controller, break. When I get those, I do it to all of their pitches. If you want to pick just one of their pitches to apply that upgrade to, you can. It's your generator now. You do with it what you want. It'll regenerate all three of these with unique positions, numbers, and attributes, and then one of them will be thrown here to tell you which one to do. Same thing with the major league. You have pitching, infielder, outfielder, gets regenerated, and one of them gets thrown here. And then these 4 here are your 4 ways to play, and this cell just picks one of those 4. And then at the start of each month, you will also press this button and do what it says here at the start of each month one. Now, these are a little bit more impactful since they don't happen as often. You only have, I think, 5 or 6 months throughout the MLB season, so you only get like 5 or 6 of these as opposed to several of these start of the week ones. And so you have things like players getting suspended a certain number of games for getting into a fight. You can have pitchers get suspended 10 games for having a foreign substance, moving players up and down between the different levels, players requesting trades, giving your top prospect attribute boost, pick any player in your organization to give a +1 to every attribute, give any player in your organization a +5 to an attribute. Players being suspended for PEDs, which I do have the different PED suspension lengths listed here. So if it's a player's first time being suspended for PEDs, it's an 80-game suspension. Their second suspension is 162 games, and then their third is a lifetime ban. Call up your top prospect for the rest of the season, and then there's also some of these that can only happen once per season. So all this cell does is it just picks a random one from this list. So if you get one that does say once per season max, what I usually do is I'll go up here and I will make that cell red for the rest of the season. That way, if I get it again, I can tell, oh, I've already had that one this season, and I just hit the button again to get a different one. But yeah, so that is all for this video. Pretty short one. There isn't a whole lot to really talk about with this, but I hope you guys, if you use it, I hope you enjoy it. If you have any feedback, again, come find me on socials. You can find me on X, you can find me on this YouTube channel, and you can find me over on the Sports Gamers Online Twitch channel. Let me know what you think of this generator. Let me know if you have ideas for things I can add to it. If, changes are made to franchise mode in the new game that, make me add things to this, I will put out, updates here on the channel for new versions of this if I do put out new versions. But I first created this back during MLB The Show 21. And it's gone through a lot of different changes, and I'm pretty happy with where it's at right now. I've had a lot of fun using it over the last few years. I'm having a lot of fun using it right now, so I think it's in a pretty good state that I feel comfortable, giving it out to you guys and letting you guys try it for yourselves so I can get some feedback on it. But again, let me know what you guys think if you do decide to use it. Also, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave it a like. Share it with your friends if you think this is something they would be interested in. And also subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. And I'll see y'all in the next one.